Greetings, Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance, and if you've just stepped into the world of Hero Wars, Alliance, welcome to the Dominion. Whether you've just cleared your first missions or you're wondering which heroes deserve your early investments, this guide is here to give you everything you need to grow strong, fast, and smart, all without wasting time or resources. This is not a guide for veterans with level 120 accounts and maxed titans. This one's for you, the new Guardian building their path from zero, learning how to survive, grow, and enjoy every part of the early adventure. So grab your sword, load your team, and let's break down everything you should know about the first 100 levels of your Hero Wars journey. Starting strong. Every Guardian begins with chaos, dozens of heroes, campaigns, events, and currencies everywhere. It's easy to feel lost, but the truth is simple: early success in Hero Wars isn't about luck. It's about focus. Focus your energy, your gold, and your resources on a few key heroes, because spreading them thin will stall your progress for weeks. Heroes that matter early. Let's talk about your foundation, the heroes that carry your early to mid-game. Yasmin, your first real assassin and the easiest way to delete enemy backlines. She targets the weakest heroes and cuts them down fast. Boost her attack power and physical attack early. Kira, the queen of physical damage until well past level 100. Her spinning blades can shred entire teams. Build her attack power and armor penetration, she'll clear campaigns and adventures with ease. Ginger, Artemis, and Darkstar, all solid marksmen. Ginger is reliable, Artemis brings late game potential, and Darkstar adds control. If you're unsure, focus on Ginger first. Thea, an underrated early healer. When you need two healers in your team, she's perfect. Later on, she fades out, but early game, she'll save your runs. Ju, train him early, because at mid-game, he becomes unstoppable. His berserk mode turns hopeless battles into sudden victories. Galahad, your starter tank, and an excellent one for early to mid stages. Even if he isn't the strongest at level 120, his lifesteal and simple mechanics will carry you far. Jorgen, a tactical hero, who can freeze enemy energy gain for several seconds. That control alone makes him one of the best utility heroes you can build early. Astaroth, the all-purpose tank and one of the most useful heroes in the entire game. His resurrection alone can change battles, and his shield keeps your team alive. Boost his magic attack so his shield gets stronger. Satori and Mojo, magic powerhouses. Keep them both trained, because they'll shine in the right matchups later on. Understanding hero roles. One of the most common beginner mistakes is mixing up hero classes. A marksman deals area damage, multiple enemies at once, while a warrior usually focuses on one target. The same applies to healers, some only heal, others heal and deal damage. For example, Maya heals but also poisons enemies. Understanding this helps you build synergy instead of chaos. If you get stuck against a particular hero, look up their counters. Knowing who to use against them is part of the strategy that separates good players from great ones. Mid-game focus, level 50 to 100. When you reach mid-game, the pace changes. You unlock the guild, the grand arena, and eventually the Hydra. Now synergy becomes the name of the game. At this point, start thinking in factions. Heroes from the same way, like Way of Chaos, Mystery, or Eternity, gain passive bonuses together. Learning which heroes complement each other is what takes you from average player to tactician. A few heroes to highlight in mid-game. Aiden and Kayla, absolute must-haves. Together they melt through teams while supporting each other's strengths. Rufus, a great tank against magic teams. Not a late-game investment, but a strong matchup pick. Julius, tanky, steady, and offers shields that scale with his progress. Excellent choice for your second or third team later. Cleaver, Martha, Aiden, and Kayla, late-game staples that appear in mid-game events. Even if they lag behind in levels, start collecting their soul stones and catch them up later. Aurora, tempting, but demanding. She takes heavy investment to shine, so skip her early on unless you're sure you want her long term. Building your heroes the Olympus way. Here's the truth, you'll see hundreds of tier lists online. They change with every update, and they often mix the web and mobile versions. If you're playing Hero Wars, Alliance, the mobile version, always verify the date and the hero roster. If their list doesn't include Soleil, Lara Croft, Cascade, or Oya, it's outdated. In early game, never invest heavily in heroes ranked below B. Crowdsourced lists might not be perfect, but they'll help you avoid the worst traps. Focus on survivability and damage. Your heroes need both to stay alive and hit hard. Survivability means armor, magic defense, and health. Damage means attack power and penetration. Try to keep your penetration higher than your opponent's armor. If it is, you'll hit close to maximum possible damage. When your hero dies too fast, add armor or health. When they don't hit hard enough, add attack or penetration. Small upgrades stack fast, and every +10 today becomes thousands of power points later. Artifacts, skins, and resources. Artifacts define a hero's long-term power. Your first artifact usually boosts synergy and shared stats with your team. Focus on the second artifact early, then shift priority to the first one once you reach around level 100, that's when synergy starts to multiply. For skins, it's simple, early on, prioritize attack and health. Once you understand your hero's strengths, you can add penetration, armor, or skill power. Avoid over-investing in dodge or critical early, those bonuses only shine later in the game. Resource management is everything. Don't level up 30 heroes. Pick 10 to focus on. Trying to upgrade everyone equally will slow your progress threefold. If you can't pass a campaign stage after several tries, stop and invest in your heroes instead. Come back later stronger, patience always pays off. Learn from your guild. Once you join a guild, pay attention to the top players. Look at their teams. Study their setups. Out of 60+ heroes, only about 25 stay relevant in the late game. Don't let veteran players discourage you by saying you'll never get enough stars or that synergy doesn't work. They're talking from the perspective of years and maxed accounts. The meta evolves constantly, and Nexters frequently updates heroes to keep things fresh. Focus on learning, experimenting, and having fun. Every server develops its own micro-meta anyway, what works in one server might not dominate in another. Level progression over time. Let's set expectations for your journey. Levels 0 to 30, the learning zone. Just enjoy the campaign, experiment with heroes, and gather resources. Levels 31 to 50, you'll unlock the guild. Team composition starts to matter more. This is where synergy begins to reveal itself. Levels 50 to 100, you'll unlock the Grand Arena, and start understanding PvP. This is where you begin forming 3 complete teams and learning the flow of guild wars and Hydra fights. Levels 101 to 120, this is the golden stage. You'll start focusing on synergy, elemental balance, and directed spending. Every choice you make now has huge impact. Level 120 plus, the final stage of the game, where everything becomes about team synergy, precise counters, and PvP skill. This is where all your years of investment start to pay off. Yes, Guardians, Hero Wars is a long journey. But it's also a relaxing one. You don't need to play for hours every day, 20 or 30 minutes a day is enough to keep growing and stay competitive. About spending. Let's be honest, Hero Wars is a business. You can play entirely free, but a little support helps your progress. If you want to spend, keep it light and smart. The Valkyrie Favor and the 4x Emerald events are the best value in the game. Even spending $5 to $10 per month gives a huge boost in pace, and if you can't, that's fine too. There are whales who spend hundreds, but don't let that discourage you. Hero Wars is designed so that skill, timing, and knowledge still matter. The math behind power. Hero Wars runs on base 1000 math. When you see 84,900 health, think of it as 849 points for simplicity. Each upgrade might look small, plus 44 here, plus 144 there, but every little boost stacks exponentially. By level 40, those small upgrades double with every tier, turning plus 44 into plus 88, then plus 176, and so on. That's how power scales, small numbers multiplying across dozens of systems. Dodge and critical hit look flashy early, but mathematically, they start low and grow slowly. Don't chase them too early, wait until your heroes reach around level 60 or beyond to make those stats count. The Hero Wars universe. Remember, Hero Wars, Alliance, Mobile, and Hero Wars, Dominion Era, Web, are separate games with different balancing and mechanics. Don't mix information between them. If you're on mobile, stick to Alliance-based data and guides, like everything we do here on Olympus Alliance. Nexters keeps evolving the game. New heroes, new synergies, and constant updates keep things fresh. Heroes like Lara Croft, Oya, or Soleil weren't even part of the roster a few years ago, and they've reshaped the entire meta. Final words of wisdom. Guardians, Hero Wars is not a race. It's a marathon of strategy, learning, and fun. You'll build, rebuild, test, and evolve, and along the way, you'll discover how much synergy, timing, and patience matter more than raw power. If you stay focused, even as a free-to-play player, you'll grow strong. And with every victory, you'll start to feel the magic of the game that keeps millions of players coming back every day. So remember, build smart, experiment freely, and never forget, this is your journey through the Dominion. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and as always, salute and friendship.